Hello and welcome to Meanwhile Back on the Hobby Farm. Well, I started these 6 plants indoors a couple months ago. These are pickling cucumbers. One of them started to flower, and that's a no-no, folks. No matter what type of plant you got, whether it's a tomato plant, cucumber plant, if they are flowering, they're not going to do very well when you plant them. I've only got one of them that started to flower, and that is that one right there. That's a no-no. It's too much of a shock for them to be transplanted. I mean, it's going to grow, and I'm going to get some cucumbers from it, but it's not going to be a vigorous, very healthy plant. Same thing with tomato plants. If they're flowering, I would not. People say, "Oh, I'm going to hurry up and buy this big boy tomato because it's got a whole bunch of flowers. I'm going to get tomatoes in less than a month." Well, yeah, you will get some tomatoes, but they're not going to be large. They're not going to be juicy, sweet, healthy. Um, I've personal experience and research that I found is do not plant any vegetable plants that have flowers on them. It's just not good. Did a little bit of watering, did a lot of weeding today. I got these pats over here. If you remember the other day, they were completely covered with grass. And what I ended up doing was I put them way over there on the bare spot because I had put straw underneath it and hay, and it created almost like a sod mat. So I had all this grass with roots like carpet, so I just dug it up and put it on the bare spots on the grass, and I did that in the front lawn a couple of weeks ago. It's actually taking pretty good. It looks, you can't even tell where some of the bare spot was. Blueberry plants are doing well, and today's herb of the day is lemon balm. Two little tiny plants. I'm going to plant some seeds around them that I have lemon balm seeds on the outside so they get the sun. And lemon balm, what is the properties of lemon balm that is attractive to people? Well, like all the other ones that I say, aromatherapy, it's good for cardiovascular, hypertension, cold sores, and herpes. That's what they say. They also say it's good for pregnancy and childbirth. I don't know. I'm not one into natural herbs when it comes to somebody that is pregnant and about to give birth, but you can see your natural medicine doctor on that one. But again, I'm not giving advice saying this is a cure-all, all of these herbs that I do. I'm just telling you this is the research that I've done in my past experiences. It's also good. Lemon balm is good for actually sore throats. It's hypertension. It's a nice, relaxing, very refreshing tea. If you're going to make some sun tea in the summertime, instead of buying those Lipton sun teas, that's not sun tea. Get yourself a nice glass, fill it up with hot water, and put a couple of sprigs of lemon balm in there. And I'm telling you, you want to talk a good hydration, relaxing, comfortable tea to have in the summertime. That's the way to go. Well, I'm deciding what I'm going to do over here. My elderberry don't seem to be doing very well. I don't know. I've got one healthy plant out of them. I'm going to let them be. In the meantime, I'm going to plant some, I don't know if they're going to be tomato plants or low-growing tomato plants on this side of the bed just for this year. And I made it an executive decision. Check this out. See this stuff right here? Goats love it. This is my sled that I got for Christmas time. I fill it up with these weeds and that I don't transplant out on the bare spots, and I give it to the goats to eat. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here was, originally I was going to use these landscape posts to put them on the ground and make a bed, but the problem is if you look at them, they're not very tall. They're only about, what, 3.5 inches? And if I were to use those, I would have to have this completely tilled over. I don't have a rototiller. I'd have to till it all over, put the beds in there, and then add some compost on it, but the only problem is it's not going to be very deep. I may as well just plant them on the ground and put a couple little stones around them. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow, after I get my beauty sleep from my overnight gig, I'm actually going to take all of my cinder blocks that I have over there on the boundary line with grumpy old neighbor. I'm going to make a bed with the concrete blocks. I'm going to make 2 of them. They're going to be, oh gosh, how good is my memory? I want to say 16 feet long and 4 feet wide, and there'll be a 2.5 foot path in between. So this will be a path. I bought a weed torch I'm picking up tomorrow. I'm gonna torch all of this. I'm not gonna put fabric down anymore on the walkways. I may or may not. I haven't decided. But I'm going to make the cinder block beds. So that's going to give me about, what's a cinder block? About 8 inches. And then I'm going to pile them up on the top as high as I can. And then I'm going to fill them with my compost, because the plants basically need at least a minimum of 6 inches to 10 inches for good root structure. So this way they will be directly into the ground. Like I said, I'm not going to till any of this over. It saves me a lot of work. And then I will take these timbers and I will put them where I take the blocks from. I will put the timbers there in the ground. I'll spike them in. The other reason why I have those blocks there is to keep the dogs from digging and going underneath and entering grumpy old neighbor's property. We don't want that to happen. Right, Kona? Yeah, these guys are nothing but trouble. You'll notice I have some 4 foot. Get out of that plant. Get out of it. Get out of that plant. Get. You know, I was worried about the goats. It's the dogs. Anyway, these posts that I have right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rope it off. I'm not going to use electric fence. I'm not going to be that cruel. But I'm just going to put about 3 strands. It's going to keep the dogs out from coming into my new beds. It's going to rope it all the way off. It's going to keep them away from the boxes because they're jumping up on those too. So that's the plan. I've still got a lot of work left to do. But I will get it done. Unlike a 9 to 5er, people come home 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. They get to work for 4 or 5 hours before it gets dark out. Remember, folks, we're out in West Michigan. It gets dark out right now at 9:30. Right now, I believe it's 9:15 p.m. If I'm guessing. Last time I looked at the clock, it was approaching 9. And look how light it is outside. So we've got another 45, half hour, 45 minutes of being able to work outside. But going back to working 9 to 5, you get 4 or 5 hours. But when you work the overnight gig, it just mentally wipes you out, and you end up getting more sleep. I got 8 hours sleep today. If I was working 9 to 5, I'd get 6 hours sleep and be refreshed. And I'm still tired. So it limits me on my hours out here, but I'm going to do it. Over here, as you can tell, like I said, I got rid of those weeds today. I rolled them up like carpeting, got them out of there. I'm going to put some shredded pine shavings on there, and go ahead and do my magic. But that's the plan over here. We'll show you tomorrow the big difference. Remember this big, ugly, bare, grass, patchy area crap coming up. And then I've got to get my evergreens planted over there probably Monday or Tuesday. That's it, folks. Have a good day. Be nice to each other. What goes around comes around.